It is once again time for some more cruise fees. Once again, time for the price of your cruise to go up once again. Well, at least if you're visiting Iceland. And while Iceland is probably not your everyday cruise itinerary, it's not a port stop in the Caribbean, it is definitely becoming more and more popular. It's one of those unique, breathtaking landscapes, those once in a lifetime bucket style cruises. And there's quite a few cruise lines that have cruises that go there. You have MSC Cruise Lines, you have Viking, Holland America, Carnival Cruise Lines, Silver Seas, Celebrity, P&O, a lot of them that go there. And just like a lot of other cruise ports, Iceland sees the opportunity that cruise ships are coming. Well, this is a way to charge some extra money, get some extra money, get it from the cruise passengers. Yep, it's for environment. Yes, it's for sustainability, infrastructure improvements. The more cruise passengers that come, the more they got to build. I get that part. That part makes sense. And that made sense when on January 1st of 2024, well, Iceland did put in a fee of about $5 for overnight stays in Iceland. And I guess it wasn't enough. They didn't make enough because just here one short year later, starting here at the beginning of 2025, they put in their new fee. And there's some changes to this new fee that I don't know that everybody's going to agree with them. See, now the fee applies per day. Doesn't matter whether the ship stays overnight at all. It's per person per day. And it's gone from $5 per person for an overnight stay to $18 per person per day. And that per day, that plays a big part in how this works. Because if you visit one Iceland port on one day, then the next day you visit a different port in Iceland, well, that's per day. So that is definitely $18 per day. So if you visit 3 ports, you will pay the fee 3 times. Now, if you're thinking, well, if I just don't get off in the port, I don't have to pay that fee. Well, that would be wrong too, because every passenger on the ship will pay that fee per day, whether or not you get off the ship or not. Simply the fact that the ship is in Iceland waters, now it counts against you. That's all it takes to be assessed the fee. You don't have to actually get off the ship. You don't have to get into their ports, do anything, travel anywhere, see a single thing. Just simply the fact you were on the ship and you were there means you will pay this fee. And Iceland's not the first. We've seen it from Greece recently. We've seen it from Mexico recently. So definitely not the first to do it, not the first to implement it. And I can understand it. I really can. If it sustains cruising well into the future, builds the infrastructure necessary, the environmental protections necessary to allow cruising to continue to go there and to continue to grow, especially in that area, yeah, it makes sense. Now, cruise lines, on the other hand, they may be having a whole different opinion on this. They have in the past, when there was fees put on passengers and fees added on that they don't necessarily agree with, they have a tendency to buck up. They have a tendency to say, whoa, if you're going to do this, we may not come and visit you anymore. And according to RUV, which is the national broadcaster there in Iceland, they are claiming that dozens of cruise ships have already canceled stops in Iceland over the new fees. So the ports in Iceland are already saying they're expecting 80 less cruise ships this year as the cancellations are coming in. Now that's reports out of Iceland. Will cruise lines actually cancel any stops over these new fees? Will they circumvent Iceland? Will they start to skip it if these fees aren't reassessed? It's normal operating procedure that new fees are introduced. Cruise lines saber rattle, say, we're not going to do this, we are not going to do that. Sometimes you see positive outcomes. This just happened in Mexico. It was supposed to go into effect on January the 1st. Cruise lines rattled the saber, wasn't deleted, wasn't canceled, hasn't been removed. It was just delayed here till the summer. Are we going to see Iceland doing something similar to that? Who knows? I think it's a fine balancing act between both the cruise lines and the destination. The cruise lines have people that will book itineraries, unique, specific itineraries, such as Iceland. Those cruise ships book out. They fill up. those cruise passengers may be okay with the extra fees just to go to Iceland. Said it sometimes that's a once in a lifetime, a bucket list cruise versus the destination, where if the cruise lines do begin removing cruise ships, do start canceling port stops, their revenue is going to go down, period, whether they put new tax fees in or not. So it's a balancing. Who's going to win? It's like a staring contest. Who will look away first? But what do you guys think about Iceland and their new port fees? Me personally, I think if those cruises are available, people are still going to book them. They're going to pay the $18 per day to go to Iceland. I don't think it would actually reduce all that number of bookings. There might be a few that say, no, I refuse, I won't do it. But I think when we're talking the grand scheme, I think those ships will still be full. But what do you guys think? All right, and that is going to be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.